I'm 74 years old, and what I'm about to say may make you uncomfortable. Almost everything you've been taught about aging, success, and time is wrong. The hardest truth is this: the people who are supposed to explain it to you, parents, teachers, society, either didn't know or passed along the same misconceptions they inherited. For the first half of my life, I believed those ideas too. I was convinced I was doing everything right. I had a solid career, a respectable title, a nice home, and the approval of people around me. From the outside, it looked like I'd figured life out. Then, when I was 56, everything fell apart. Before I tell you what happened, understand why I'm speaking now. I'm not here to sound wise or inspirational. I'm here because I'm running out of time and there are things you need to hear before you make the same mistakes. This message isn't urgent for me, it's urgent for you. At 56, I experienced what doctors politely call a cardiac event. In plain terms, my heart nearly stopped. One moment I was sitting in a meeting talking about forecasts and projections, and the next the world began to spin. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed, tubes in my arms, and my wife crying nearby. The doctors told me I was lucky. I had just confronted my own mortality and they called it luck. At first that word felt wrong, but as I lay there with nothing but silence in my thoughts, I realized they were right. Because in that hospital room, something terrifying became clear. I hadn't really been living. I'd been operating on autopilot, checking boxes, chasing approval, meeting expectations that weren't even mine. And the thought that still haunts me is this: if I had died that day, what would I have left behind? A house? A bank account? A resume of accomplishments no one would remember a few years later? Here's the lie you're probably telling yourself right now: I have time. I'll do that later, when things slow down, when I'm older. I hear this from people in their 20s, 30s, even their 40s. When I make more money, I'll be happy. When I get the promotion, I'll relax. When the kids grow up, I'll travel. When I retire, I finally live. Let me save you decades of regret with one truth: that moment never arrives. The finish line keeps moving. You get what you wanted, and suddenly it's not enough. More money requires more money. One promotion demands the next. You're always chasing something just out of reach, and one day you look up and realize you're 70, wondering where your life went. I know this because I lived it. I spent 30 years climbing a ladder, only to discover at the top that it was leaning against the wrong wall. And time doesn't let you climb back down and start over. Here's another thing no one tells you when you're young: success is a terrible goal. I say that as someone who achieved everything I aimed for. I became partner, I earned respect, I bought the house, and none of it delivered what I thought it would. You reach a milestone, feel great for a day or two, and then the feeling disappears. Soon you're searching for the next achievement, the next hit of validation. It's a hamster wheel. A close friend of mine died at 68. He worked non-stop, built a multi-million-dollar company, never took a real vacation, always said he'd slow down next year. Then next year came with a stroke. At his funeral, his son said, "My father was successful, but I barely knew him." Is that the legacy you want? Your deepest regrets won't come from failures. They'll come from the things you never did. I don't lose sleep over bad business decisions. What keep me awake are the experiences I skipped, the relationships I neglected, the dreams I postponed, the trip I never took, the book I never wrote, the distance that grew between my brother and me, the evenings I missed with my children because work felt urgent. These regrets don't fade, they accumulate. You think you have endless time with the people you love, your parents, siblings, friends. You don't. One day, that time runs out. My father died when I was 45. Our relationship was complicated, and I always believed we'd fix it later when life slowed down. It never did. He was gone within hours. My greatest regret isn't what we argued about. It's all the Sundays I didn't call, the dinners I skipped, the moments I assumed would be there later. After my heart attack, everything changed. I stepped back from work. I learned to say no to what drained me and yes to what mattered. In the last 21 years, I've learned more about life than in the previous 56. What truly matters is embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love, work that feels meaningful to you, experiences over possessions, presence over productivity. I know this sounds obvious. When I was younger, I would have dismissed it. Bills exist, responsibilities are real. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying don't trade your life for things that won't matter. Ask yourself this, honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with how you've lived so far? Not impressed, not admired, satisfied. If the answer is no, what are you waiting for? I wake up every morning knowing I'm living on borrowed time. We all are. Young people just don't realize it yet. They think they're invincible. They think time is unlimited. It isn't. I see this in my grandchildren. They're anxious, overwhelmed, chasing things that won't bring peace. They're making the same mistakes I did. I try to tell them, but when you're inside the storm, it's hard to see patterns. That's why I'm saying this now. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will choose differently. Every day you're closer to the end. The people you love are too. So what will you do? Keep postponing the call? Delaying the trip? Waiting for permission? If I could speak to my 30-year-old self, I'd say this. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop sacrificing your health. Stop postponing joy. Call your parents more. Take the trips. Do the things that scare you. Say no more often. Say yes to what fills you up. And start now. Not later, not next year, not when life is easier. The perfect time doesn't exist. Life is always messy, but if you keep waiting, you'll eventually realize you waited your whole life away. I'm 74. If I'm lucky, I have a decade or two left, and I'm at peace with that, because these last years have been the fullest of my life, not because I earned more, but because I finally lived with intention. I'm happier now with less time ahead than I was when I believed I had forever. That's the irony. Once you understand time is limited, you stop wasting it. You have a choice today. Keep living the same way, or wake up and start living now. Don't spend 56 years learning this the hard way. Someday isn't coming. Someday is today. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time?